Hi, this is Dominic from Paphos Life, and in today's film we're going to show you how the Cypriots celebrate Green Monday, which is an important bank holiday in Cyprus. So let's have the map up first of all, and it's the entire route we took, even though we won't show you it all today. We drove down to Lara Bay area from the top of the Akamas, and from there to Agios Georgios, and then we're going to be driving down to Coral Bay Strip, and we'll finish off by heading towards the CU Beach Bar, and there'll be some drone footage thrown in along the way. So yes, the entire footage was over an hour long, so I've heavily edited it to show you just the highlights of it basically. And we'll start off with what it's all about on Green Monday, flying kites. And this is us on the top of the Akamas, so I can fly the kite and fly the drone without worrying about hitting any other kite with my drone. But you also get to see the stunning countryside as well at the moment. Look at that, it's so green and beautiful. We had fun flying the kites, and you can get them from all the supermarkets around Paphos. You don't have to bring your own from England if you're wanting to participate. Right, now we're driving down towards Lara Bay area. These people here on the right had got their own little lean-to where they're having barbecues, which must be very nice. Now in the drone footage you might have noticed a few puffs of smoke, and there was in fact a fire. And before we'd even aware what was going on, the fire trucks had already been alerted, and we're behind one here. We weren't following them, it was just that they were on the same road. They do just turn off up here though, and we let them get on with their job. Before we'd seen all that though, we had sent the drone over to look at the smoke, so you have a brief glimpse of what we saw once we get past the fire truck. And there you are. So it was only quite a small area. The footage is taken from a long distance using the zoom, so it will be a bit wobbly, but you get a brief glimpse. It's a bit alarming that they're having fires this early in the year though, because it's supposed to be very wet at the moment, but it isn't. Anyway, now we're going to take in a bit of the glorious countryside and how wonderful Akamas looks in the springtime. If you normally just come up in the summertime, this will look completely different to you. You might think you're up in Yorkshire or somewhere. Apart from the blue skies, of course. Pretty flowers, and they'll be around for the next few months. If you like our films, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and share them far and wide. The more you share them, the better it is for us with the old YouTube algorithm, and hit any notifications bell you might see on your travels. And if you want to help us out financially, go to our Buy Me a Coffee page at buymeacoffee.com/Paphos Life and chuck us a few coffees. I can assure you that all coffees are gratefully received. Definitely. And if you want to get something back in return, go to our Etsy shop at etsy.com/shop/Paphos Life. There you can buy all sorts of memorabilia from Paphos, featuring pictures we've taken, and put on things like mugs, phone covers, calendars, you name it, that sort of thing. So have a look there too. And follow us on Facebook. Our Paphos Life Facebook page is the best place to go to get notified when we produce any content, be it film, blog article, or whatever. Now the road, most of the time it was okay, a few bumps but nothing too strenuous. At some point I think this is one of the roads that will be designated as being upgraded when the whole Natura 2000 plan gets put into place, or whatever it is called. To be honest though, as you'll see later on, the existing work they've done is pretty appalling, and I know there's been an inquiry etc. into it, and I don't know what the situation's going to be, but at the moment it's a mess. You'll see this further later on, but you can see a bit more of the fire over there in the distance. Only a very small area, and as you saw, the fire engines were soon on the scene. I do love how the Akamas and the rest of Cyprus looks in springtime though. It's all so green and beautiful. Mind you, come April, May, I'll be missing the golden brown. Now this church here was one of the original locations we had thought we might have a picnic, but other people had already beaten us to it, because there's a little picnic bench in there. So we decided then we'd just go down to beyond Lara Bay and find a quiet bit of coast there to have a picnic and fly my drone again. But before that, we'll show you a bit more of the countryside. Now the road did get a bit bumpier for a while, but it wasn't as leery as some of the roads I've driven down. As ever, you just got to take it very slowly. Here, for instance, a new road has sprouted out on the left, which, because the one on the right has got too bad. That often happens. They're very versatile, the Cypriots, in making and forming new little tracks when they have to. Now, here you got to be wary, because we finished with the hills and the rocks, but what we're driving on now can be even worse if there'd been a lot of rain, because it gets very, very muddy. You can't really see it there, but imagine like if we'd had a proper winter's rainfall, I would not be attempting this drive. Now we're coming down to the main coast road that runs along the south of the Akamas. Now, fortunately, the people who are doing up the Akamas road haven't actually got this far, so this part of the road is still relatively drivable on, which doesn't say a lot for the work they did, but you'll see a bit more of that in a little while. Again though, there's a lot of mud about and big puddles, so take your time, and if you're not in a four-wheel drive car and it's a rental, then you really shouldn't be up here, because if you run into problems, you might find you have even bigger problems when the rental company gets to hear about where you've been driving it. And we decided, Lara Bay's straight ahead, we can just see it in the distance there. We decided to turn right here and find a little spot for the picnic. We weren't going to bother going to any of the regular official barbecue places, because we knew that they would be completely ram solid. Cypriots do love their barbecues. Fair play to them. So we wanted a bit of peace and tranquility, so we found it here. And after we'd had our just salad stuff basically, and wraps and chicken, if you must know, I launched the drone. There will be a dedicated film on the Lara Bay, but here's a couple of snippets from it. This is the other end looking down towards the bay. This is a close-up of the Turtle Information Centre. There was one family there, they're just flying a kite, you can just see it at the top. And this was on the other side of where we were. There was another beach, which is completely unspoiled. Not that Lara Bay's spoiled. Right, so now we're going towards Agios Georgios. And you've got to watch out for all sorts of things when you're on these roads, like those cyclists there. They must have been having fun. Now, what I was saying before about the improvements, the stretch of road we're coming up to now had been the main area they had been working on, and you can just see what an appalling job they've done, because we're going to get lower and lower, and eventually you'll get to a bit where it's actually blocked off. They've closed the renovated part of the road and you can't go on it. And the reason you can't go on it is because it looks like they were actually digging a reservoir or something, because the road itself has been blocked off. I'm a little bit early for that actually. So do bear with me. It's up here, yeah. The road ahead is blocked off there, and there's another side road here. And the thing is, this is obviously only one lane. And the reason the road is blocked is because large portions of it are now a lake. You won't necessarily be able to see it just yet. But I don't know what they were thinking of. I mean, for a start, even before it's become a lake, it was really, it was a horrible drive because all you could see are the walls either side of you. You couldn't see any of the countryside you were driving through, and now it's just a complete lake. That little bell is one of my cats coming to say hello. Hello, Snufkin. He's probably looking for a playmate, and he's found Mark, so there could be a bit of a confrontation going on because Mark's fast asleep. But you see, it's like there's more water on your left there than there is in the Maverick Olympus at the moment. And I know that there was talk of sticking a reservoir on the Akamas somewhere, but I seriously don't think they meant it. So anyway, as I said before, there's going to be an inquiry about all that, and hopefully it'll get sorted out at some point in the future, but at the moment it's just a comedy of errors. Anyway, we're now in the by the big beach just next to Agios Gorge, and a lot of this has had their quote improvements done. I mean, look at that, it's just a joke. And they'd put bollards all the way along here to stop cars going on it, but there are loads of cars on it now because some of the bollards have just been removed. Because people want to use it, I guess. You'll see the occasional car height size gap. There's one there. People just drive through them. But one thing I will say about Green Monday is that if you go around the areas the day afterwards, it is all tidied away again. Now, Green Monday is so called. Well, it's difficult really because the official name, if you like, is Clean Monday, and it's also known as Pure Monday or simply Monday of Lent. This is all from Wikipedia now, I should add. The common term for this day, Clean Monday, refers to the purification of the body in preparation to the Great Lent, first day of absence of non-fasting food, and for those who are blessed and able to do so, also fasting from all kinds of food. And is a public holiday in Greece and Cyprus, where it is celebrated with outdoor excursions, the consumption of shellfish and other fasting food, a special kind of azyme bread baked only on that day named lagana, and the widespread custom of flying kites as its symbols trying to reach the divine. So that's why we go out and fly kites. Anyway, you can see a lot of people parking up here, flying their kites and eating shellfish barbecues. Now this couple here, they were actually trying to wave us down. We did stop for them, but unfortunately we didn't have any jump leads, which is what they needed. We did tell them just to go and ask people in the field because Cypriots would be very helpful in that sort of situation, and they'd soon be sorted out. I know from personal experience. Now we're coming up, you've got White River Beach on the right. There are a few cars down there. And this is more of the repaired roads, closed inverted commas. It's weird that they've got the wall sorted on the left, but they haven't got the actual road itself done. It's like getting your priorities right. Right, you'll see a lot more cars up here, and that eternal puddle. You've also got more water in it than the Maverick Olympus. You begin to see a lot more kites flying now. So yes, though there were lots of barbecues, it has to be said that you didn't get any of the usual yummy smells of souvlaki getting cooked It was all fish. Now what we're doing is going down to Agios Georgios Harbour itself. Note there, we've got big signs up now saying it's opening soon, Agios Georgios restaurant, because people were asking about that and they're going, oh, it's ruined the area, etc., etc., as some people who love moaning all the time are wont to do. But there's a store selling Green Monday tat on the left there. There's Ionissos Island coming into view, sorry. And we showed you this area not that long ago in drone footage, and it was completely empty. But now look what it's like. Cars as far as the eye can see, and lots of kites. I have to say, flying at the top of the Akamas, you're going to get a little bit closer to God. There you go. It's my tip. But I can understand why they do fly on the beaches, because you get more wind down here. But you can also see why I wouldn't want to fly my drone in amongst that lot, because it'll end up a big Gordian knot if I did. My mum used to love untangling kite strings. I have memories of seeing her sat happily in a Sunday evening sorting out messes like that. God bless her. Now we'll just have a drive here. We're not stopping, but I just wanted to show you what it was like. Last year I did an in-depth look at all the main beaches, all the way from here. Because I remember St. George's beach area is pretty much the same. It's more than this. It was actually, I recall. And all the way down to Ioskipu Beach, beach. It was packed solid there as well. But I'm just showing you a taster here. Kites everywhere. And it's quite cloudy now, but there was no rain. It held off. I think he was flying a kite too, yeah. Get out of the way, please. I know normally I've been asking for rain, but and today I was hoping it wouldn't. And my wishes were granted. So that was Agios Georgios Harbour. Now we'll have a brief drive through Cap St. George. They've still got some of their carnival bunting up, which is nice. I could see a few cars on the beach area around here, but to be honest, most of them are up by the harbour. A nice bit of bunting. And you've got like the resort here, and the hotel is above us on the left. Very big place. And Christmas, all these trees here have decorations on them. We mean to film them. And once we get through here, that's part of the hotel up there, we'll be heading down towards Sea Caves. I didn't see many people flying kites at Sea Caves itself. But and I was going to go and have a look at the Edro Free wreck, but the road down to the Iro restaurant just seemed ram solid, so I didn't bother trying to do that. But I will show you a bit of Sea Caves. It's getting slowly more and more developed. There is still the occasional banana plantation. And we'll come round and you'll see some of the rocks of Sea Caves on the right, but very little in the way of kites being flown. So we're going to jump ahead now to Potima Bay beach, which is on the right. To start with, I didn't think there was anyone flying kites here, but I forgot that like the car park is about 15 metres above the actual beach, and you could just make out the tops of the occasional kite So there were some kites being flown here. But we'll drive up along the Coral Bay strip because we always like to see that. So yes, basically Green Monday is part of Lent, and it's also associated with, well, the green, people associate it with recycling and all that sort of thing. But I deliberately didn't call this film Green Monday and the Akamas because from previous experience, mentioning green is the kiss of death to anyone watching it. It's almost as bad as saying it's something to do with a charity because people just don't watch it. It's because people are fed up with things getting rammed down their throat constantly. And people like Just Up Oil really need to bear that in mind. Not doing themselves any favours. Anyway, I'm not going to get on that soapbox. This is Coral Bay Strip and it's still got their carnival bunting up and it looks lovely. It always does look lovely, but I think it looks especially lovely with the nice bits of bunting. And also bear in mind that they had their carnival here, not Saturday, but the weekend before, and it's all, as I said before, it all gets cleared up really quickly. And it looks very nice now. And at some point in the future, we're going to be improving the roundabout up here and the road from Coral Bay into central Paya. But from the roundabout, we're going to jump to our last scene, which is the road coming up into Potima Bay with CU Beach Bar on the right. There are quite a number of cars here on the right and kites being flown. Always good to see. But for the next big location, you'd want to keep on the coast road and go down to St George's Beach. But by this time, we'd all had enough. And so we're going to take the left turn up ahead and go through Kisoniga and Tala, Sala and back to Polemi. And I didn't film any of that. Well, to be quite honest, I did film some of it because the camera was still on the roof. And I wasn't sure how long the battery would last, so I just drove home and it got about as far as Tala, but I'm not going to bother showing you all the footage. Because as I said, if I'd shown you the complete footage, it would have been an hour 15 minutes long, which I mentioned for anyone who is interested in action cameras and wants to know how long the battery lasts. On a GoPro 13, it lasts over an hour, which surprised me, to be honest. I wasn't sure whether I'd even get the CU Beach Bar in, but here it is on the right, just coming up. So I hope you've enjoyed our film of Green Monday. I can call it that now without fearing that you'll stop watching. And we'll see you in the next film. Thank you very much for watching, and if you're observing Lent, I hope it goes well for you, and good luck. Okay, cheers.